Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice, and today we are going to be testing out some sublimation film that I ordered from Alibaba. Now Alibaba has so many different suppliers that sell different things, and today we are going to be unboxing this package that I got from Alibaba. I'll also go over the cost with you guys in a few seconds just to let you know how much this cost and how long it took to get here. So recently, I unboxed the Htvront phone case heat press, and I absolutely love it. It does wonderful, but with that particular machine, you don't use sublimation paper. You use sublimation film. It's very much so different than DTF. A lot of people were asking me if they could use the DTF film with this machine, and no, you cannot. The sublimation film is a lot thicker than the DTF film, and that is because it provides suction once it's heated inside of the phone case heat press, and that's what it just grabs onto whatever item is in there, and that is how that process is done. So it's a lot different than using DTF, and it's a lot different than using regular sublimation paper. All right, so what I've discovered is that this sublimation film is pretty pricey no matter where you get it from. It's pretty pricey. There aren't many sellers on Amazon that's selling it, so I went to the source. I went to Alibaba. I love Alibaba, and I ordered some sublimation film from there to try. Now the package that I ordered, there's 50 sublimation film sheets inside of the package. All right, we'll look at it once I unbox it and we'll see what everything looks like. But for this particular package, there's 50 sublimation film sheets inside of it. Now different sellers, have different quantities, different pricing, but for one pack of 50, that is $27. Now I know you're like, oh, that's a great price, especially if you've been looking for this film. You know how much it can cost, right? So $27 for 50 sheets, but that does not include shipping, and it did not include any customs charges, all right? So I ended up paying a total of $54.76. I ordered one package, and generally with one package, something this small, they're not going to send that sea freight. So you're going to get an express mail. Okay, and so that took about maybe a good 2 weeks for me to get it. Once I paid for everything and everything was in, it took about 2 weeks for me to get it. Now, it was $27 for the paper, for the sublimation film, because it's not really paper, it's a film. It was $27 for that. For shipping, it was $14 for shipping. All right, so that's about $41, right? Well, there were additional fees added on to that. So the import charges and taxes, that increased my total from $41.05 to $54.76. All right, so about $13 and some change for importing and sales tax. All right, now with your wholesaler license with Alibaba, I did not have mine. I used a whole nother account. I should use the other one, but with Alibaba, you can put your reseller's license information in there, and you don't have to pay your taxes like that. Okay, but we are going to get ready and unbox it so we can see if it's going to work. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work. This is my first time testing out the sublimation film from Alibaba, but we are going to check this out and see if it's worth getting it from there, or if we just want to stick to getting it from here, even though it came from there. Anyway, all right, let's get started, y'all. All right, y'all, so this is the package that I got from Alibaba, from a supplier on Alibaba, with the sublimation film so that we can use this with our phone case. So let's open this up and see how this works. All right, so here's the packet. All right, so here's the film. Smells a little funny. Here's our film. Okay, so we're going to test this out. Like the film that comes with the machine, you have one side that's shiny that you can see, and another side that's matte. So of course we want to print on the matte side. So let's get ready to press something. All right, y'all, so we're all done printing out our image on the sublimation film, and I had to put a piece of white paper behind it. So I put the paper on the back on the shiny side and fed it through so that it could print on the matte side. So you want it to print on the matte side. And now I'm just going to remove the sheet because we don't need this any longer. And I'm going to let this sit on top of the phone case heat press for a few minutes. We have this set at 270 degrees Fahrenheit. We have both the top plate and the bottom plate set at 270. And we have this set at 305 seconds. So let's just let this kind of dry a bit and we'll get ready to start. All right, guys, so I have my gloves, and you do need your gloves when using this machine because you have to touch the fixtures and they get really hot. All right, we're going to move this off and we're going to get ready and place the fixture in. I have the bottom plate on here, so we want to take this out. All right, this is going to be very hot, so I do have a silicone pad to absorb that heat. I'm going to use my weeding tool to get it out. And now we're going to get ready to place the universal phone case fixture. This is the one for the Apple phones. They have one for Androids. If you see here, these two knobs go into the hole. There we go. All right, the next thing I want to do is I have the phone case. This is a phone case that will be subbing, and they all come with these little metal pieces to go over the camera portion. So we're just going to place this just like this, and I'm going to get a piece of heat tape. We're just going to make sure that that stays in place. Now, if we had another phone, we would need to get the spacers, but this particular fixture fits the iPhone 16 case perfectly, so we don't need any extra spacers. Before we put it on, we're going to let this preheat. All right, so that has heated up some. Now we're going to get our blank and we're going to place it on here. So we just need to close this up. That's why it's important for you to wear gloves when doing this, because you don't want to burn yourself. All right, so our phone case is on. Next, we're going to grab our image, and you always want to make sure you're placing it in the right direction. So I wouldn't want to necessarily place it this way because the top of the phone is here. So I want it to read the right way. And we're placing the film on top. And this film provides the suction that's needed with this particular machine. Okay. I printed this out on my Brother SP1 Sublimation printer. All right. So we're going to get ready to close this down, and then we're going to press start. All right, we're all done. And we're going to open it and take it off, and this looks really good. It came out really good. I'm just gonna take this off. So everything looks wonderful with this phone case. You can print out so many different phone cases, whether it's Android or iPhone, with this phone case heat press. But I absolutely love the fact that it gives you full coverage. It subs all around the phone case. But everything looks good. The colors look great. And I'm super happy with the sublimation film from Alibaba. All right, y'all. So we're all done with testing out the sublimation film from the Alibaba supplier, and everything went as it normally does when using my phone case heat press and the sublimation film. I have nothing to complain about. Came out perfect. The color looks good. Everything worked the same way that it does with the other film that I used, the film that came with the machine. It works the same. So I have no complaints, no alterations, nothing. So the only other thing left for me to do is to test the other sublimation blanks and see how it works with that. But yo, I think we did pretty good. I think all is well. So if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join Craftable Things there as well. I will have a link listed below that will get you directly to Alibaba. Now, if you look at other items on there, like other sellers who sell this sublimation film, there's tons, but I will link the specific seller that I purchased this film from if you are interested. But that's it for today, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.